Hello, friends. This evening, we'll slip quietly into the gentle hush of medieval Japan, not into a battlefield or a court, but into the soft, warm quiet of sleep. We'll explore how people rested, where they lay their heads, what sounds filled the night, and how the architecture of the home itself cradled the body and quieted the mind. This is a story of wooden beams and paper walls, of tatami mats, dim lanterns, and sliding screens that whispered closed with the wind. A world where the night was long, slow, and shaped by ritual. Not just the sleep itself, but everything that led to it. The folding of robes, the cooling of tea, the last glance at the moon before the lamp was blown out. Before we begin, if this kind of slow historical storytelling helps you relax or fall asleep, consider giving the video a like and subscribing. But only if it truly feels right for you. And if you'd like, share in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. I always find it peaceful to see this little circle of listeners gathered from all around the world. Now, dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan or soft rain sounds. And let's step back in time to a place where sleep was woven into the rhythm of wood, wind, and the quiet breathing of a still house. In the soft hush of a distant century, far from the hum of the modern world, the night prepares to settle across the quiet villages of medieval Japan. The sun, a faded memory on the horizon, has dipped below the tiled roofs, and the last amber rays stretch through the wooden slats of sliding doors. A breeze stirs the light paper panels, the shoji, their latticed frames casting calm geometric shadows on the straw mat floors below. The air is heavy with stillness, an ancient, unhurried rhythm that speaks of a world aligned with the natural drift of time. Inside a modest wooden home, a room sits empty but for the breath of silence that fills it. Its floor is layered with carefully arranged tatami, their woven rush fibers softening each movement to a whisper. Here, shoes have never touched the ground. The scent is subtle and earthy. Straw, wood smoke, perhaps a lingering note of green tea. The walls do not close the space in so much as suggest it. Nothing loud exists here, no ticking clocks, no distant engines, only the subtle shift of wind through pine and the gentle creak of old beams settling into night. A small oil lamp rests in a corner alcove, its glow the color of warm honey. Its flame barely flickers, casting a golden aura that flickers over the grains of aged wood and the folds of folded bedding yet to be laid out. Shadows dance, but slowly. Time itself seems to breathe with less urgency. The stillness is not empty. It is full of expectation, of quiet rituals passed down through centuries, of sleep that does not demand, but invites. Here, in this room, untouched by haste, a person might pause before preparing for rest. There is no rush. The day has already retreated into memory, and tomorrow waits beyond the veil of sleep. This moment belongs to neither. It is suspended between what was and what will be, a liminal space woven from silence, soft textures, and the absence of modern burdens. One might imagine the faint rustle of a robe, the creak of a wooden floorboard, the sigh of a body coming home to itself. The world beyond this room carries on unseen, but in here only the breath of evening remains. It is a breath long and slow, the kind that comes just before sleep. The quiet deepens as the last hues of twilight dissolve into the fabric of the night. Within the house, gentle preparations begin, almost imperceptible, as though the space itself remembers what must be done. There are no commands spoken, no lights flipped with a switch. Only intention carried through habitual, unhurried motion. A delicate hand smooths over the surface of the tatami, checking for specks of dust or stray fibers. Not from need, but from respect, for the place, the time, the act of resting. Every movement is small, deliberate. Each gesture contributes to the rhythm of winding down. Outside, the air grows cooler. The crickets begin their slow, consistent song, not in chorus but in a kind of soft ripple, barely louder than the thoughts one forgets to finish. The wind moves through the leaves like a memory, brushing the house in fragments of sound. The room is not closed off from the outside world, but gently connected through wooden eaves, through the fine screen of the shoji, through the thin walls that breathe as the night does. It is a house that lives with its surroundings, not against them. Its silence is not emptiness, but presence. Inside, small tasks continue. A low wooden chest is opened with care. The wood, worn by countless evenings, releases a dry, comforting scent. Cedar and linen, time made tangible. From it, bedding is removed. Soft futon, neatly folded. Flat pillows filled with buckwheat hulls, slightly shifting as they are touched. And a carefully folded cotton blanket, faded with use, but thick enough to hold warmth until morning. Each item is lifted, unwrapped, and set aside for now. There is no urgency. The body knows the order, the mind follows it without thought. Even the placement of these objects is mindful. The futon will lie parallel to the length of the room, always on the same side, allowing enough space to walk along its edge without brushing it. The pillow is centered at the top, not too high, never indulgent. Everything is flat, soft, but not sunken. This is not a bed that swallows, but one that supports. A cradle made of floor and fabric, never separating the sleeper from the ground beneath. A single cloth is unfolded and shaken gently to remove invisible dust, though none is seen. The motion is quiet, reverent, like brushing away the remains of the day, the echoes of waking life. All of this is preparation not only for sleep, but for peace. Peace that is not dramatic, nor even particularly emotional, just a slow sinking into stillness. A quiet trust in the act of resting. The lamp still glows in the corner, now a little lower, a little dimmer, as though it too is preparing to rest. The room holds a hush so profound it feels like something sacred, a space not for dreaming, not yet, but for becoming quiet enough to invite the dream. There is no separation between action and atmosphere, between the practical and the poetic. In this slow preparation, the body readies itself, and the room responds. Two companions in the soft ritual of surrendering to night. ChatGPT Skazal. The tatami mats lie flat and silent, their woven rush fibers soft beneath bare feet as they touch down gently on the floor. Each mat is a quiet testimony to centuries of tradition, a surface both humble and purposeful. The texture, when traced with a slow hand, reveals the delicate pattern of interlaced strands, their natural hues shifting between pale gold and muted green, softened by age and use. The scent of straw, faint but unmistakable, lingers in the air, a subtle fragrance that anchors the space in an earthy calm. Unrolling a tatami is a careful act. The edges are lifted with deliberate patience, the roll unfurling slowly as the fibers relax into place. It is not hurried, nor mechanical. Rather, it is a gentle unfolding, like the opening of a flower petal in the early morning light. The movement carries an inherent softness, a quiet grace born from generations who have made this ritual part of daily life. Each mat is laid out with mindful precision, the corners aligned with the room's edges, forming a seamless grid that covers the wooden floor beneath. The tatami's surface offers more than comfort, it sets the tone for rest. It invites the body to feel grounded, connected to the earth even within the shelter of a home. Unlike raised beds, the tatami's low profile encourages stillness and calm. The slight give beneath weight is reassuring, a gentle suspension that supports without resistance. It is the foundation for the evening's slow transition, a platform on which the simple ceremony of sleep will unfold. There is an artistry to the arrangement of tatami in a room. Their placement follows traditional patterns, each with a name and purpose shaped by centuries of custom. Sometimes the mats are arranged in a rectangular layout, allowing for an open center space. Other times, they form patterns that echo the seasons or invite harmony with the natural world outside. The geometry is subtle, yet purposeful, a silent order that brings balance to the room's quiet atmosphere. In this moment, the unrolling of tatami is more than a task. It is an invitation, a call to slow the mind and soften the body. The delicate rustle of the woven rush fills the quiet, as if whispering ancient secrets to those who listen. With each mat placed, the room transforms, becoming less a shelter and more a sanctuary. The tactile sensation beneath the feet becomes a meditation in itself, grounding, soothing, gentle. Outside, the world fades into deeper shadows, the evening wrapping itself around the house like a soft, dark cloak. But inside, the tatami floor glows faintly in the amber light, a quiet stage for the unfolding of rest. It is here, on this natural canvas, that the body will finally find stillness and the mind a gentle release into night's embrace. ChatGPT's Ghazal. The futon, folded neatly in the corner of the room, waits patiently for its nightly purpose. Made from layers of cotton, its surface soft yet firm, it is both simple and essential, a humble invitation to rest. The fabric carries the faint scent of natural fibers and subtle wear, each crease telling stories of countless nights and quiet dreams. Slowly, with deliberate care, the futon is lifted and unfolded, its weight settling onto the tatami floor with a gentle sigh. Unfolding the futon is a ritual in itself. The cotton layers separate smoothly, revealing the full expanse of cushioning beneath. The mattress, though thin by modern standards, offers surprising comfort, its softness tempered by the support of the woven floor beneath. It invites the body to lie down fully grounded, cradled by natural materials that breathe with the rhythms of the night. There is an elegance in this simplicity. No springs, no frames, just layers of fabric and cotton working in harmony with the earth. The futon's placement on the tatami is never random. It is carefully centered, parallel with the room's length, leaving space to move quietly around its edges. This deliberate arrangement respects the space itself, allowing the room's geometry to remain balanced and calming. The futon becomes a stage for the night's gentle unfolding, a place where the day's worries can dissolve in the quiet embrace of rest. As the futon lies flat, the room seems to soften further. The textures of woven straw and cotton blend into a harmonious whole, inviting the sleeper to surrender to the slow descent into sleep. There is a tactile warmth in the fabric, neither too hot nor too cold, responding to the body's needs without fuss. The futon breathes beneath, allowing air to flow gently, keeping the sleeper cool in summer and warm in cooler months. The act of laying out the futon is accompanied by a quiet stillness. No words are spoken. The room itself seems to hold its breath in anticipation. The weight of the fabric, the subtle crinkle of cotton, the muted colors blending with the soft light. All these details work together to create a space that feels safe, sacred even. It is a place where the body can finally relax, where the mind can begin to release its hold on the day. Outside, the night deepens, and the soft glow of the lamp flickers gently, casting shadows that play across the folded futon. The room feels suspended in time, a quiet refuge from the noise and haste beyond its walls. In this moment, as the futon settles into place, the boundary between wakefulness and sleep begins to blur. The stage is set, the invitation extended. The night awaits. Soft folds of fabric lie gently stacked, waiting patiently to become the pillows of the night. These pillows, unlike the plump cushions of modern beds, are modest in size and weight, yet their simplicity holds a quiet comfort, known through centuries. Filled with buckwheat hulls, each tiny shell cradles the head with subtle firmness, allowing gentle support without rigidity. The hulls shift slightly with movement, a soft rustle accompanying every turn, like whispers of nature tucked beneath the sleep. The pillow covers, often made from smooth cotton or linen, carry muted colors, off-whites, gentle creams, soft blues, washed repeatedly over time, softening the fabric into a familiar embrace. Their texture is delicate but sturdy, offering a clean, cool surface against the skin. The stitching is neat but unadorned, reflecting an understated elegance that fits the modest surroundings. These pillows are not just functional objects. They are woven with quiet intention, part of the nightly ritual of preparing for rest. Placing the pillows on the futon is a mindful act. Each pillow is positioned with care, aligned neatly at the head of the mattress, neither too high nor too low. The balance is subtle, but important. It ensures the sleeper's neck is supported just enough to encourage relaxation without strain. The pillows invite the head to rest lightly, like a gentle bow to the day's end. There is a softness to the scene. The fabric folds catch the warm glow of the nearby lamp, the muted colors blending with the fading amber light. Shadows stretch slowly across the tatami mats, the room settling deeper into quiet. The pillows sit patiently, silent sentinels ready to cradle dreams and soothe the mind. This moment, though simple, carries the weight of centuries of tradition. Each pillow speaks of hands that carefully prepared them, of quiet evenings spent winding down, of the subtle understanding that rest is a sacred, gentle practice. The pillow is more than a support. It is a companion in the slow journey towards sleep, offering comfort without demand, presence without pressure. Outside, the night air cools the house, carrying with it the faint rustle of leaves and the distant call of an owl. Inside, the pillows rest on the futon, part of the soft landscape of the room. The quiet folds of fabric, the gentle texture of buckwheat hulls, the muted palette of linens, all come together in a delicate harmony. Here, in this tranquil space, the mind begins to soften, the body relaxes, and the night stretches ahead, inviting rest, inviting peace. The soft glow of the oil lamp, nestled in its corner alcove, casts a gentle warmth across the room. Its flame flickers quietly, steady and small, as if breathing alongside the house itself. The lamp is simple, a ceramic base glazed in muted earth tones, shaped with subtle curves that catch the light in tender reflections. The glass chimney, slightly clouded with soot from many evenings past, diffuses the amber glow into a calm, soothing halo that bathes the space in tranquility. Lighting the lamp is an act wrapped in quiet reverence. A match is struck softly, its tiny flame nurtured and guided to the lamp's wick. As the flame takes hold, a faint scent of burning oil rises, mild and natural, like the soft crackle of wood smoke from a distant hearth. This scent mingles with the faint aroma of tatami and cotton, creating an invisible tapestry of comfort that settles deep into the room's atmosphere. The lamp's light does not seek to brighten sharply, but to caress the room gently. It reveals the textures of the wooden beams overhead, their grain worn smooth by time and touch. It highlights the delicate patterns in the shoji screens, where the paper's translucency softens the outside darkness, turning it into a muted backdrop of shapes and shadows. The corners of the room melt into this soft glow, where details fade into comfortable obscurity, inviting the eyes to rest rather than focus. There is a timelessness here. The lamp's steady flame recalls evenings long before electricity, before the rush of modern life, when the simple act of lighting a lamp marked the transition from day to night. It is a marker of rhythm and routine, an anchor in the unfolding quiet. The light invites stillness, urging the mind to slow, to soften, to drift gently toward the threshold of sleep. Around the lamp, the room seems to breathe with the flame's gentle pulse. Shadows lengthen and shrink in a slow, hypnotic dance, as if the night itself were exhaling and inhaling. The flicker is calm, never harsh or sudden, creating a serene environment where thoughts can settle without resistance. Outside, the darkness deepens, but inside, the lamp holds a small world of warmth and peace. It is a quiet guardian in the night, a companion to the slow rituals of rest. As the flame continues its gentle glow, the house settles further into stillness. The lamp's light does not chase away the night, but embraces it, weaving together shadow and warmth into a delicate lullaby that soothes both body and soul. The wooden beams overhead, darkened by years of smoke and time, form a quiet lattice that supports the structure of the room. Their surfaces are smooth yet textured, the grain of the wood telling stories in muted lines and gentle curves. These beams have witnessed countless evenings like this one, moments folded into the slow passage of nights and days, silently holding the space together without demand or fanfare. Their color is a soft, deep brown, neither harsh nor overwhelming, but warm and grounding. The wood's natural oils have mellowed over time, creating a subtle sheen that catches the faint light of the oil lamp in delicate highlights. Running a hand over the beams, one might feel the slight irregularities where the wood has aged, small knots, gentle cracks, and faint ridges, marks of life that speak quietly of resilience and patience. The beams intersect at right angles, forming a simple grid that echoes the geometry of the tatami mats below and the shoji screens on the walls. This repetition of pattern creates a harmony within the space, a visual rhythm that soothes the eye and calms the mind. There is an elegance in this simplicity, a balance achieved not through decoration, but through the honest presence of natural materials arranged with care. In the dim light, the beams seem to hold the room in a gentle embrace, their solidity contrasting softly with the fragile translucence of the paper screens. Together, they create a space that feels both protected and open, a sanctuary from the rush of the outside world, yet connected to it through the thin walls and the subtle sounds that drift in from beyond. Occasionally, the faint creak of wood settling can be heard, a reminder that the house is alive, breathing slowly with the night. This sound is soft and unintrusive, more a whisper than a noise, blending seamlessly into the quiet atmosphere. It is a sound that encourages patience, that invites the mind to slow and settle alongside the rhythms of the building itself. The beams carry more than just physical weight. They bear the intangible weight of history and continuity. Through seasons of change and cycles of life, they remain steady and unassuming, a testament to endurance without struggle. Their presence encourages stillness, a calm acceptance of time's passing without hurry or resistance. As the night deepens, the beams dissolve softly into shadow, their outlines blurring at the edges where light fades. They become part of the room's quiet fabric, steady, silent, enduring, inviting rest and reflection beneath their watchful hold. In their quiet strength, there is comfort, a reminder that beneath the fragile moments of waking life lies a foundation both solid and serene. The shoji screens, delicate and translucent, stand as quiet guardians of the room's boundary between inside and out. Their wooden lattice frames, crafted with fine precision, hold panels of thin rice paper that softly diffuse the dim light of the evening. Through these screens, the outside world is present, but softened, filtered into gentle shapes and muted shadows that shift with the passing breeze. The texture of the rice paper is almost ethereal, thin enough to allow the faintest glow of moonlight or distant lanterns to seep through, yet resilient enough to provide privacy and shelter. Running a hand gently over the surface, one can feel its slight roughness, like the fragile petals of a flower pressed and preserved. The paper's pale, creamy tone complements the warm hues of the wooden lattice, creating a harmonious interplay of light and material. At night, the shoji transform the world outside into a quiet, abstract canvas. Trees become swaying silhouettes, their branches moving slowly in the breeze. The rustle of leaves is softened to a whisper, barely audible through the paper. Occasionally, the silhouette of a bird or a passing cloud might drift across the screen, fleeting and delicate, like a momentary brushstroke on a calm painting. The screens serve not only as physical barriers, but as mediators of atmosphere. They temper the chill of the night air, holding warmth within the room while allowing a subtle exchange with the natural world beyond. The faint sounds that pass through, distant footsteps on a gravel path, the soft murmur of a stream, or the low call of a nightingale, become part of the room's nighttime symphony, blending seamlessly with the stillness inside. Their presence is also a reminder of impermanence and care. The rice paper, though durable, requires gentle handling and occasional repair. Small tears are mended with precision and patience, a quiet act of preservation that honors the screen's role in daily life. Each patch tells a story of continuity, of care given and received, of a space maintained with respect for tradition. In the calm glow of the lamp, the shoji screens take on a warm, golden hue, their latticework casting soft geometric shadows on the tatami floor. The interplay of light and shadow creates a serene pattern that slowly shifts as the lamp flickers, a slow dance of stillness and change. It is a gentle reminder of the night's quiet rhythm, steady, soothing, unhurried. In this space, the shoji screens are more than just partitions. They are gateways to a peaceful world, framing the night in softness and light. They invite the mind to slow, to rest, and to listen, to the breath of the house, the whisper of the wind, and the gentle passage of time itself. The quiet stillness of the night is punctuated only by the faint, steady rhythm of the nearby stream. Its waters flow gently over smooth stones, creating a soft, continuous murmur that soothes like a lullaby whispered by nature itself. This sound, constant yet ever-changing, weaves through the air and into the room, blending with the subtle rustle of leaves and the distant call of nocturnal birds. The stream's course winds patiently through the landscape, shaped by time and the earth's gentle curves. Its surface glimmers faintly under the moon's pale light, reflecting delicate ripples that dance slowly downstream. Small pebbles beneath the water's surface are rounded smooth, their edges softened by countless years of contact with flowing water. The scene is one of quiet persistence, a natural rhythm that never rushes but never ceases. Listening closely, one can detect the stream's subtle variations, the splash of a small fish breaking the surface, the gentle rush over a fallen branch, the whispered sound of water meeting a moss-covered rock. Each detail adds texture to the overall calm, enriching the night's soundscape without disturbance. It is a sound that invites the mind to settle, to drift alongside the water's flow, carrying away the tensions of the day. The stream's presence outside the window is more than background noise. It is a connection to the natural world, a reminder that life continues in slow, steady cycles even as the house rests. Its water nourishes the soil, feeds the trees, and sustains the quiet ecosystem that surrounds the home. Through the thin shoji screens, the sound travels softly, blending with the stillness of the room and creating a gentle bridge between indoors and outdoors. In the dim light, the room seems to breathe with the rhythm of the stream. The steady murmur acts like a heartbeat, a quiet pulse that syncs with the body's slowing breath. This natural soundtrack encourages a deepening calm, a softening of thoughts, and an opening to the restful embrace of night. There is no urgency here, only the patient flow of water and time. The stream's gentle song is a constant companion through the hours of darkness. It offers reassurance and tranquility, its presence a silent promise that the world remains peaceful and whole. As the night stretches on, the sound becomes part of the room's fabric, woven into the very air, a soft, enduring melody that lulls the senses and invites dreams to come gently, like leaves drifting on the water's surface. Outside, the garden breathes quietly under the soft glow of the moon. Its pathways wind gently between carefully tended plants, each leaf and petal resting calmly in the stillness of the night. The garden is a sanctuary of subtle beauty, a place where nature's delicate details unfold slowly, inviting quiet reflection and gentle ease. The stone lanterns stand silently among the greenery, their weathered surfaces touched by moss and time. Though unlit, their presence anchors the garden, suggesting a history of evenings bathed in warm light and soft shadows. Their simple forms, balanced and unadorned, blend seamlessly with the natural surroundings, creating points of quiet focus amid the gentle chaos of leaves and branches. Around the garden, the shapes of bamboo stalks rise slender and straight, their dark silhouettes softened by the silver light. The bamboo leaves rustle faintly with the slightest breeze, a whispering chorus that adds texture to the garden's stillness. This soft sound mingles with the faint trickle of a small water feature where water cascades gently over smooth stones, its movement steady and soothing. The garden's flowers, subtle blossoms of camellia, iris, and chrysanthemum, rest closed in the cool night air. Their colors, vivid in daylight, are now muted to gentle shades of gray and green, yet their forms remain elegant and poised. The petals catch the moonlight with a faint sheen, like delicate brushstrokes painted in pale silver. Walking slowly along the stone path, one might feel the coolness of the smooth stones beneath bare feet, grounding and steady. Each step is a quiet invitation to move mindfully, to notice the small details, the curve of a leaf, the pattern of bark, the way shadows stretch softly across the ground. The garden encourages a slow, deliberate pace, fostering a sense of calm presence that carries through the night. The air holds a faint fragrance, earthy and fresh, with hints of damp moss and flowering plants. It is a scent that soothes and comforts, wrapping around the senses like a soft shawl. In this quiet garden, the boundary between the external world and the inner self seems to dissolve, creating a space where the mind can rest and the spirit can find gentle renewal. As the night deepens, the garden becomes a silent companion to the house, its serene beauty a quiet reflection of the calm within. The soft interplay of light and shadow, the gentle sounds of water and breeze, and the tender presence of living things all combine to create a sanctuary where rest is not only possible, but inevitable. Here, in the moonlit garden, peace blooms slowly, inviting the night to unfold in its own gentle time. The quiet presence of the house itself is felt deeply in the stillness of the night. Each element, from the tatami mats to the wooden beams, comes together to create a sanctuary of simplicity and calm. The architecture embraces natural materials and thoughtful design, inviting the body and mind to relax within its walls. The tatami mats, woven from soft rush grass, form a gentle foundation beneath bare feet. Their subtle texture is cool to the touch, yet comforting, grounding the body with every step. The faint, earthy scent of the rush adds an invisible layer of connection to the natural world, even inside the home. The mats are arranged with careful precision, their rectangular shapes fitting together like pieces of a quiet puzzle, creating a floor that is both functional and soothing. Above, the wooden beams and framework support the house with quiet strength. The wood's natural grain and warm tones bring a sense of organic beauty, reminding one of the trees from which it came. Over time, these beams have softened with age, their surfaces worn smooth by years of gentle use. This touch of the past lingers in the air, connecting present moments to those long before. The shoji screens, with their delicate rice paper panels, filter the outside world into soft, muted shapes. They allow light and shadow to play gently across the room while maintaining a sense of privacy and intimacy. These screens are not mere partitions. They are interfaces between the quiet interior and the peaceful natural world beyond, inviting a calm dialogue between the two. Furniture in the room is minimal and purposeful. A low wooden table, simple in design, rests quietly in one corner, its surface smooth and inviting. Nearby, a small ceramic vase holds a single sprig of seasonal foliage, a humble yet elegant reminder of nature's quiet rhythms. This minimalism reduces distraction and fosters a sense of openness, encouraging the mind to slow and settle. The air itself is calm and still, carrying faint scents, perhaps a trace of incense, the earthy aroma of tatami, or the soft fragrance of wooden surfaces warmed by the day's sunlight. This gentle bouquet lingers softly, wrapping the space in a quiet embrace that soothes the senses. Every aspect of the house works in harmony to support rest and reflection. It is a space designed not for noise or spectacle, but for quiet presence, where the small details of life are appreciated and where the rhythm of daily routines flows gently into the restful pause of night. Here, within these walls, the mind is invited to release tension and the body to surrender to stillness. The house itself becomes a refuge, a calm harbor in the unfolding sea of time. A small ceramic teacup sits quietly on the wooden table, its simple form crafted with gentle care. The surface is smooth, glazed in soft hues of muted green and earthy brown that catch the dim light with a tender sheen. Its shape is modest, neither too large nor too small, inviting the hand to hold it with ease and comfort. Inside the cup rests a pale amber liquid, the warm tea brewed from carefully selected leaves. The tea's aroma is delicate, yet soothing, a subtle blend of earthy undertones and faint floral notes that rise gently from the surface. It is a scent that calms the senses and invites slow, mindful sipping. Pouring the tea is a ritual of quiet attention. The gentle sound of water cascading from the kettle into the cup is soft and almost musical, a gentle promise of warmth to come. As the steam rises, it carries with it the fragrance that fills the room with a peaceful, lingering presence. The act of preparing tea itself becomes a meditation, a moment to pause and be fully present. Taking a sip, the warmth spreads slowly through the body, a gentle heat that soothes and relaxes. The flavor is mild, balanced between astringency and subtle sweetness, a quiet harmony that does not demand attention but offers gentle comfort. Each sip is deliberate, unhurried, a soft invitation to savor the moment and let go of the day's concerns. The teacup rests quietly on the table now, a silent companion in the stillness. Its presence is simple, yet profound, reminding one of the beauty found in everyday objects and small rituals. This humble vessel connects the body and mind, bridging the outer world with inner calm. Around the cup, the room remains bathed in the soft glow of the lamp. Shadows shift slowly across the wooden surface, blending with the delicate patterns of the tatami mats below. The quiet hum of the night carries on, distant water, soft rustling leaves, forming a gentle backdrop to this intimate moment. In this space, the act of drinking tea becomes more than refreshment. It is a ceremony of peace, a practice of slowing down. It invites a deepening sense of presence, encouraging the mind to soften and the body to relax. The teacup, filled with warm tea, becomes a vessel not just of liquid, but of quiet grace, a simple, sustaining comfort in the unfolding night. A narrow hallway stretches softly between rooms, its wooden floorboards worn smooth by countless footsteps over many years. The surface is cool beneath bare feet, its grain visible in gentle lines that flow lengthwise, inviting slow, mindful steps. The quiet creak of the boards underfoot is a subtle reminder of the house's living history. Each sound a whisper of past movement, now blending into the peaceful present. Along one side, the walls are adorned with simple scrolls of calligraphy and understated ink paintings. These artworks, rendered in delicate brushstrokes, depict tranquil scenes of mountains, flowing rivers, or quiet bamboo groves. The monochrome ink contrasts softly against the pale rice paper backing, their muted tones harmonizing with the natural wood and paper surroundings. These images invite contemplation, drawing the eye slowly and gently, like a quiet breath held and released. The hallway's lighting is dim and soothing, filtered through shoji screens at either end, where faint moonlight seeps in and diffuses softly across the space. Shadows play lightly on the walls, shifting imperceptibly with the passage of time and the subtle flicker of the oil lamp's flame nearby. The atmosphere encourages a calm, meditative walk, a transition between rooms and moments. Here and there, small touches of life emerge. A single chrysanthemum in a simple vase, a carefully folded futon resting quietly against the wall, or a pair of neatly placed sandals waiting patiently near the entrance. These details speak quietly of care and order, creating a sense of gentle rhythm and flow within the home. The air is cool and still, carrying a faint scent of polished wood mingled with the subtle earthiness of tatami mats. The quiet is deep but not empty. It holds the presence of the house and its rhythms, a space where silence itself feels full and nurturing. Walking slowly along this corridor, one becomes aware of the delicate balance between movement and stillness. Each step is deliberate but unhurried, a moment to feel the connection between body and floor, between past and present. The hallway serves as a gentle passage, not just physically but mentally, leading from the busyness of day to the softness of night, inviting the mind to slow and prepare for rest. In this quiet passageway, the simple architecture and carefully placed details come together to form a space of calm transition. It is a subtle sanctuary, a gentle invitation to pause, breathe, and move softly toward the unfolding peace of night. The delicate sound of a koto gently fills the quiet room, its strings plucked slowly and with tender care. Each note resonates softly, weaving a tranquil melody that seems to float effortlessly on the still evening air. The music is unhurried, each chord lingering just long enough to be savored before dissolving into silence once more. It is a sound that invites deep breathing and gentle reflection, a soothing companion to the slow unfolding of the night. The koto itself is a work of natural beauty, a long, slender instrument crafted from polished paulownia wood. Its surface bears a soft, honeyed glow under the dim light of the oil lamp, the fine grain of the wood visible beneath the smooth lacquer. 13 silk strings stretch taut across movable bridges, each carefully tuned to create a harmonious scale that can express both simplicity and subtle complexity. As fingers press and release the strings, the music takes shape, sometimes a single, clear tone that rings pure and bright, other times a gentle cascade of notes that ebb and flow like the rippling of a quiet stream. The slow rhythm and delicate dynamics encourage the listener's mind to drift, releasing tension and embracing a gentle calm. In this room, the koto music is more than just sound. It is an expression of the moment itself. It reflects the softness of the lamp's glow, the stillness of the tatami beneath, and the serene presence of the shoji screens filtering moonlight outside. Together, these elements form a tapestry of tranquility, where music, light, and space intertwine to create a sanctuary of peace. The gentle vibrations of the strings seem to ripple through the room, touching every surface and inviting a shared stillness. The mind, carried on the wings of the melody, slows its pace and softens its edges. Thoughts become less urgent, fading into the background as the music wraps the space in a quiet embrace. As the final notes fade, a serene silence returns, a silence deep and full, enriched by the music's gentle presence. It lingers softly, encouraging breath to deepen and muscles to relax. The koto's voice, though momentary, leaves behind a lasting calm, a quiet resonance that carries into the unfolding night. In this delicate interplay of sound and stillness, the room becomes a haven for rest. The koto's music, humble and unassuming, holds a timeless invitation to listen deeply, to breathe fully, and to surrender gently to the peaceful rhythms of the evening. The soft glow of the paper lantern casts a warm amber light that fills the room with a gentle radiance. Its frame, delicately constructed from thin bamboo strips, supports the translucent rice paper that diffuses the light evenly, creating a soothing ambiance free from harsh shadows or glare. The lantern's presence is humble yet profound, offering a quiet beacon of comfort amidst the night stillness. Hanging from a simple hook near the corner of the room, the lantern sways ever so slightly with the faintest movements of the air. This subtle motion adds a living quality to the light, making it seem as though the lantern breathes softly along with the quiet rhythm of the night. Its steady glow provides a constant, reassuring presence that encourages the mind to settle and the body to relax. The rice paper of the lantern is aged gently with tiny imperfections and variations in texture that catch the light in delicate ways. These slight irregularities give the lantern character and warmth, as though it carries within it the passage of many peaceful evenings. The soft patterns created by the intersecting bamboo strips cast faint, lacy shadows onto nearby walls and floor, enriching the room's atmosphere with a quiet intricacy. Beneath the lantern, the tatami mats absorb the light softly, their woven fibers glowing with a muted golden hue. The natural straw scent rises faintly in the warm air, mingling with the lantern's glow to create a multi-sensory experience of calm. Together, light, scent, and texture combine to form an environment that invites slow breathing and deep rest. The lantern's glow also reveals subtle details around the room: an open scroll resting on a low table, its inked calligraphy catching the light just enough to hint at its graceful characters. A small ceramic vase holding a single sprig of plum blossoms, its petals softly illuminated. These elements, quiet and unassuming, gather around the lantern's light to create a scene of harmonious stillness. As time passes, the lantern's light remains steady and unchanging, a gentle guardian through the night's quiet hours. Its presence is a reminder that even in darkness, there is warmth and gentle illumination, a soft light that neither startles nor demands, but rather invites repose and reflection. In this serene setting, the paper lantern becomes more than a source of light. It is a symbol of tranquility, a quiet keeper of the night's calm. Through its soft glow, the room is transformed into a sanctuary where thoughts can soften, breath can deepen, and rest can unfold naturally, embraced by the gentle flicker of timeless illumination. Outside, the evening air carries a gentle coolness, softened by the faint scent of pine and earth. The garden gate, crafted from weathered wood, stands quietly open, inviting a slow, unhurried passage from the world beyond into this private haven. The gate's hinges creak softly when moved, their sound a gentle reminder of time's passage and the care given to this place. Beyond the gate, a narrow path winds through the garden, its surface strewn with small, smooth stones that crunch softly underfoot. Moss grows thickly along the edges of the stones, its deep green hues muted in the dim light, but rich with quiet life. The path curves gently, leading the visitor past clusters of carefully tended plants, camellias with their rounded leaves, slender grasses that sway faintly in the evening breeze, and the delicate branches of a young maple tree. The garden is enclosed by low wooden fences, their surfaces softened by age and the growth of climbing vines. These natural barriers frame the space without closing it off, creating a sense of intimacy that encourages lingering and quiet observation. Here, the outside world feels distant, and the garden's calm reigns uninterrupted. In the fading light, shadows lengthen and blend, casting gentle patterns that shift slowly with the breeze. The play of light and shadow gives the garden a fluid, living quality, as if it breathes alongside the visitor. Soft sounds, perhaps the distant call of a night bird or the rustle of leaves, add depth to the silence, weaving a subtle soundtrack that soothes the mind. A small wooden bench sits nestled beneath a flowering plum tree, its surface worn smooth by years of use. The bench invites one to pause and rest, to sit quietly and absorb the stillness that envelops the garden. From this vantage point, the view opens to reveal a small koi pond, its waters dark and reflective, disturbed only by the gentle ripple of fish gliding beneath the surface. The pond's edge is lined with smooth stones and patches of delicate ferns, their fronds soft and feathery in the dim light. The water reflects the muted colors of twilight, deep blues, soft grays, and faint hints of fading gold. Occasional bubbles rise slowly from below, breaking the surface with gentle ease. Walking through this serene garden, the senses are invited to slow and soften. Each step is measured, each breath deep and calm. The garden's quiet presence offers a gentle retreat from the busy world, a place where the mind can rest and the spirit can find renewal. As night settles fully, the garden becomes a sanctuary of peace, a living poem of natural beauty and quiet reflection, unfolding slowly in the embrace of twilight and moonlight. ChatGPT's Ghazal. The morning light seeps gently through the translucent shoji screens, casting soft, diffused patterns across the tatami mats. The glow is pale and cool, a quiet invitation to awaken slowly and without haste. The air holds a fresh crispness, carrying faint scents of dew and wood smoke from distant hearths, blending subtly with the earthiness of the woven mats below. The room is empty now, yet it feels alive with traces of recent presence. The slight indentation in the futon where someone rested, the faint warmth lingering on the wooden floorboards. These small signs evoke a peaceful continuity, a quiet rhythm of life unfolding in gentle cycles of rest and waking. Along the wooden beam above, a single small spider weaves its delicate web, shimmering faintly in the morning light. Its intricate threads stretch carefully between corners, glistening with tiny droplets of dew. This fragile work is a silent testament to patience and quiet craftsmanship, embodying a natural grace that invites calm attention. On a low wooden table nearby, a ceramic tea bowl sits waiting. Its surface is smooth and cool, glazed in muted earth tones that reflect the soft light with understated warmth. Next to it, a bamboo whisk rests gently, poised for the simple ceremony that will soon begin. The mindful preparation of tea, a practice steeped in tradition and tranquil purpose. The garden outside is just beginning to stir. Pale blossoms of plum and cherry trees unfurl slowly, their petals catching the soft light with a delicate blush. The leaves of maples and bamboo tremble faintly in the gentle morning breeze, their movement a whisper of life stirring beneath the calm surface of dawn. Each element, the room, the tools, the garden, exists in harmonious balance, inviting a slow, mindful immersion in the present moment. There is no urgency here, only the quiet unfolding of a new day, marked by small rituals and the gentle embrace of natural light. As the minutes pass, the world outside brightens gradually, but within this space, the pace remains soft and deliberate. It is a place where the senses awaken slowly, where breath deepens naturally, and where the mind is invited to rest in peaceful observation. In this serene morning light, the room becomes a sanctuary of gentle beginnings, a quiet harbor where the day can unfold with grace, calm, and mindful presence. The quiet ritual of lighting the charcoal in the hearth unfolds with measured care. The small hearth, a simple earthen pit set into the floor, is filled with carefully arranged charcoal pieces, dark and irregular in shape. Each lump is chosen for its ability to burn steadily and emit a soft, even heat. The act of igniting the charcoal is deliberate, performed with gentle movements that respect the stillness of the room. A slender match is struck softly, the faint scratch and brief flare of flame barely disturbing the calm. The flame is brought close to the edges of the charcoal, coaxing them slowly to life. A subtle glow emerges, faint at first, then deepening into a warm, steady red. The hearth begins to breathe with quiet heat, its gentle warmth promising comfort through the cool hours of the evening. Around the hearth, the air remains hushed, carrying the faint scent of burning wood mingled with the earthiness of the room. The charcoal's slow combustion produces a soft amber light that flickers gently, casting dancing shadows on the walls. These shadows move with a languid rhythm, their slow sway contributing to the room's tranquil atmosphere. The hearth is more than a source of warmth. It is a center of gathering and reflection. Its glow invites quiet conversation or peaceful solitude, a place where thoughts can settle and the body can relax. Sitting near the hearth, one becomes attuned to the subtle shifts of light and warmth, each moment marked by the slow transformation of charcoal into embers. The heat radiates outward, touching the wooden beams and the woven tatami mats with a comforting glow. It softens the edges of the room and wraps the space in a gentle embrace. The steady presence of the hearth encourages a slowing of the breath and a quieting of the mind, as if time itself had softened its pace. Beyond the immediate warmth, the hearth symbolizes a deeper connection to nature's cycles, fire as a sustaining force, transforming raw material into light and heat, offering both physical comfort and spiritual nourishment. In its steady glow, the room becomes a sanctuary, a place where the everyday and the elemental meet in harmonious stillness. Here, within the hearth's gentle radiance, the night deepens softly, inviting rest, reflection, and the unfolding peace of quiet presence. The scent of freshly cut wood lingers faintly in the air, mingling with the soft, earthy aroma of tatami mats beneath bare feet. A low wooden chest rests quietly in the corner of the room, its surface smooth and worn from years of gentle use. The chest's dark lacquer bears the subtle patina of time, tiny scratches and faint discolorations that speak of a long history woven into everyday life. The chest is modest in size but carefully crafted, its joinery precise and delicate. The sliding doors fit snugly, opening with a quiet glide to reveal neatly folded textiles within, soft cotton kimono, linen robes, and delicate silks, patterned with subtle designs of nature. Each fabric holds a gentle weight, its folds creating soft shadows that shift slowly in the room's dim light. Near the chest, a small wooden box contains sewing implements, slender needles, spools of silk thread in muted shades, and a pair of small scissors with rounded handles. These tools are arranged with care, ready for the quiet work of mending and creation that connects the maker to the fabric's past and future. A simple stool, worn smooth by use, stands nearby. Its surface invites pause, a place to sit and attend to the slow, meditative rhythm of handwork. The act of mending cloth is gentle and deliberate, each stitch placed with mindful attention, a small gesture of preservation and care. The room itself is a sanctuary of calm, where the textures of wood and fabric blend seamlessly. Light filters softly through the shoji screens, casting a pale glow that reveals the subtle grains of wood and the fine weave of cloth. The air holds a quiet stillness, punctuated only by the soft sounds of thread pulling through fabric, the faint rustle of cloth shifting under careful hands. This space, dedicated to quiet craftsmanship, invites a deep sense of presence. The slow movements of sewing and mending become a form of meditation, a way to engage with time gently and lovingly. Each thread woven back into place is an act of connection, linking past to present, maker to material, intention to care. In this humble corner, the ordinary becomes sacred. The simple tools and fabrics tell stories of daily life and quiet resilience, reminding that even the smallest acts can hold meaning and grace. Through the soft rhythm of needle and thread, the room breathes with a steady calm, a gentle pulse of enduring beauty and thoughtful attention. The sound of water flowing softly over smooth stones drifts faintly from the small indoor basin tucked quietly into the corner of the room. This shallow water feature, known as a tsukubai, is a humble element of traditional Japanese design, simple yet profoundly purposeful. Its stone basin, worn gently by time and water, holds a small pool of clear, cool liquid that reflects the muted light with a tranquil shimmer. The tsukubai is framed by carefully arranged river rocks and moss, their irregular shapes and soft textures blending naturally into the surrounding space. A slender bamboo pipe, called a kake, extends gracefully above the basin, channeling a steady, gentle stream of water that creates a soothing, rhythmic sound as it falls. The water's flow is calm and unhurried, a quiet rhythm that invites contemplation and stillness. Near the basin, a wooden ladle rests atop a stone pedestal, its simple form polished smooth from frequent use. This ladle is used in the ritual of purification, a deliberate act of washing one's hands and rinsing the mouth before entering sacred spaces or partaking in tea ceremonies. The act is slow and mindful, a physical gesture that mirrors the inward cleansing of the spirit. The surrounding area is shaded softly by the delicate branches of a bonsai tree, its tiny leaves and twisted trunk forming a miniature landscape that embodies patience and care. The subtle green hues of the bonsai contrast gently with the gray stones and the natural earth tones of the room, creating a harmonious balance that soothes the eye. The gentle sound of flowing water mingles with the faint rustle of bamboo leaves beyond the shoji screens, composing a natural symphony of quiet. This layered soundscape creates a serene atmosphere that invites the mind to release tension and embrace a slower pace. The tsukubai's presence in the room serves as a gentle reminder of nature's quiet cycles, the endless movement of water, the growth of moss and trees, the passage of time marked not by urgency, but by steady, graceful flow. It is a symbol of purity and renewal, inviting moments of pause and reflection within the gentle rhythms of daily life. In this peaceful corner, the interplay of water, stone, and plant forms a sanctuary of calm. The tsukubai quietly encourages a deep breath, a slow exhale, and an opening to the serene stillness that lies at the heart of the night. The gentle sway of bamboo chimes fills the evening air with a soft, tinkling melody. Suspended from the eaves of the wooden veranda, each chime is crafted from slender lengths of bamboo, hollowed and smoothed to produce delicate, soothing tones. When stirred by the faintest breeze, they sing a quiet song that drifts lazily through the garden, mingling with the rustle of leaves and the distant murmur of water. Each bamboo chime is unique, its length and thickness determining the pitch of the note it produces. Together, they create a harmonious chorus, a slow, meditative sequence of sounds that rise and fall gently like the breath of the earth itself. The chime's tones are neither sharp nor intrusive. Rather, they invite the listener to slow down, to become present in the quiet unfolding of the moment. The veranda on which the chimes hang is crafted from warm cedar wood, its surface polished smooth by years of use and the touch of countless hands. The grain of the wood reveals soft patterns of swirling lines and knots, bathed in the mellow light of a lantern placed nearby. The lantern's amber glow spills softly across the veranda floor, casting long, gentle shadows that dance in rhythm with the chime's music. Below the veranda, a small garden stretches quietly into the night. Moss carpets the earth between stepping stones, its deep green hues muted under the moon's pale light. Delicate ferns and slender grasses sway slowly in the breeze, their forms blurring softly against the dark shapes of flowering shrubs and slender tree trunks. The air carries a faint scent of cedar and fresh rain, mingling with the subtle fragrance of blooming jasmine from a nearby vine. This combination of scents deepens the feeling of peace, wrapping the senses in a natural embrace that soothes and calms. As the chime's music continues, time seems to slow. The soft sounds encourage a gentle rhythm of breath, slow in, slow out, inviting the mind to soften and the heart to quiet. The veranda becomes a threshold between the warmth and light of the home and the vast, still night beyond, a place where the boundary between indoors and outdoors dissolves into gentle harmony. In this quiet moment, the bamboo chimes are more than instruments. They are messengers of calm, their delicate voices guiding the spirit toward restful stillness. Their song is a lullaby woven by nature itself, simple, unhurried, and endlessly soothing. The soft flicker of candlelight dances across the paper walls, casting delicate shadows that sway gently with each passing breath of air. A single candle, housed within a simple ceramic holder, burns steadily atop a low wooden table. Its flame is small but unwavering, emitting a warm golden glow that fills the room with a sense of quiet intimacy. The candle's light is gentle and unhurried, far from the harshness of modern illumination. It flickers with a slow, meditative rhythm, sometimes steady, sometimes wavering just slightly, as if breathing alongside the room itself. The scent of beeswax lingers faintly, subtle and soothing, blending with the faint aroma of polished wood and aged paper. Around the candle, the room is arranged with simplicity and care. A woven straw mat lies beneath the table, its textured surface inviting bare feet to sink softly into its fibers. Nearby, a slender vase holds a single sprig of dried lavender, its muted purple buds a quiet accent to the subdued palette of the space. The paper walls, or shoji, diffuse the candlelight, softening its edges and casting a warm glow that seems to ripple across the room. Their translucent surfaces reveal only hints of the world beyond. Shadowy shapes of trees swaying gently in the night breeze, the occasional flicker of distant lanterns carried along a narrow path. The stillness of the room encourages a deepening calm. Time feels slowed, measured not in minutes, but in the gentle movements of light and shadow. The candle's flame becomes a focal point for quiet contemplation, inviting the mind to settle and the breath to grow slow and even. Outside, the night holds its own quiet presence. Crickets chirp softly in the garden beyond, their rhythm steady and unobtrusive. The air carries the faint scent of earth and rain, mingling with the subtle warmth inside. This harmony between inside and outside creates a seamless flow of calm energy, wrapping the space in a gentle embrace. In this serene setting, the candle's flame is more than a source of light. It is a quiet companion for the night, a small beacon of warmth and peace. Its steady glow invites the mind to rest, the heart to soften, and the spirit to drift gently toward the quiet sanctuary of sleep. The soft rustle of paper fills the room as delicate sheets are carefully unfolded and laid out on the low wooden table. These are pages of calligraphy practice, each stroke of the brush deliberate and unhurried, creating flowing characters that seem to breathe with gentle life. The ink, deep and rich, glistens faintly under the muted light, its presence a quiet testament to patience and quiet mastery. The brush, crafted from soft animal hair and a slender bamboo handle, rests momentarily beside the paper, its tip stained with black ink. The act of calligraphy is slow and mindful, a dance of hand and wrist, guided by years of practice and a deep respect for the art form. Each character is drawn with care, the brush gliding smoothly across the textured paper, leaving behind lines that ebb and flow like a gentle river. The room around the table is sparse and serene, designed to foster concentration and calm. Tatami mats cushion the floor, their woven patterns soft beneath the knees. A small inkstone, polished dark and smooth, holds the ground ink, carefully prepared by grinding an ink stick in quiet circles. This preparation itself is a meditative act, a slow unfolding of intention before the brush meets paper. Through the shoji screens, the first light of dawn filters softly, casting a pale glow that highlights the subtle textures of the materials. Outside, the garden remains still, wrapped in the early morning mist that blurs the edges of leaves and stones into gentle shapes. The faint sound of a distant bird call drifts through the air, a natural accompaniment to the rhythmic movements within. Calligraphy is more than writing. It is a practice of presence, a way to connect mind and body through deliberate, mindful motion. The slow unfolding of each stroke encourages the spirit to soften, allowing thoughts to settle like sediment in a quiet pond. It is a form of expression that honors simplicity and grace, capturing moments of stillness within the flowing lines of ink. In this tranquil space, the ancient art of calligraphy becomes a gentle journey inward, a quiet meditation woven through brush and paper. Each character, born from patience and care, is a whisper of calm in the unfolding day, an invitation to breathe slowly, move gently, and rest peacefully within the gentle rhythm of tradition. A faint tapping echoes softly against the paper walls, a gentle rain falling with a measured, calming rhythm. The drops land on the tiled roof above, each one joining the others in a quiet chorus of sound that soothes the room in waves. It is not a heavy rain, but a steady one, the kind that arrives with grace and lingers without urgency. Outside the shoji screens, the garden drinks slowly from the sky. The moss glistens with tiny beads of moisture, its surface a rich, deep green that seems to breathe in the coolness. Ferns bow slightly under the weight of the droplets, and stones, once dry and pale, now shine dark with a gentle sheen. The whole world appears softened, colors deeper, edges blurred, motion hushed. Inside, the atmosphere grows still and reflective. The candle has burned low, its flame quiet and unwavering in the dim light. Its glow, now golden and subdued, flickers gently against the paper walls, joining with the rain song to create a space both silent and full. A folded blanket lies across the edge of the tatami mat, inviting quiet rest. Its fabric is soft and worn, carrying the warmth of countless evenings just like this one. Nights of slow weather, dim light, and time unbound. A simple cup of tea, now cooling, rests on a tray nearby. Its steam has faded, but its presence offers comfort, a ritual pause in the midst of nature's gentle persistence. The rain continues, tapping gently against bamboo, sliding down leaves, pooling in the stone basin near the entrance. Occasionally, a gust of wind stirs the chimes on the veranda, producing a low wooden clink that fades into the rhythm of falling water. It is as though the entire world is wrapped in a hush, a lullaby offered by the sky itself. Within this softness, thought drifts easily. The mind, no longer pulled by noise or motion, begins to unwind. Worries, once sharp, now blur and soften like the view beyond the wet window pane. Memory stirs quietly, old walks in the rain, childhood mornings wrapped in blankets, the comfort of watching drops slide down glass with nowhere to be and nothing to do. Rain is not a disruption here. It is a guest, a visitor welcomed not with fanfare, but with stillness and space. Its rhythm is steady, ancient, and kind. And in its company, everything slows. The breath deepens, the hands grow still, and the heart, quietly, begins to rest. A soft creaking of wood marks the slow movement of a sliding door as it is gently pushed open. Beyond the threshold lies a narrow engawa, an exterior wooden hallway that wraps delicately around the house like a quiet embrace. It is a space between worlds, open to the elements yet part of the home, offering a place to pause, to observe, to simply be. The engawa floor is made of aged planks, worn smooth by time and bare feet. Each step across it produces a muted, familiar sound, a quiet companion to the rustling leaves and the distant drip of rain. The wood, darkened by weather and use, holds the scent of sun, of moisture, of decades of seasons passing slowly across its surface. From this perch, the view is gentle and serene. The garden unfolds softly, veiled in the lingering mist of rain. Pebble paths curve thoughtfully between mossy stones, and the soft sway of branches marks the breath of the wind. A small pine tree leans slightly toward the veranda, its needles catching droplets of water that glisten like beads of glass. In the distance, a pond reflects the gray sky, its surface broken only by the faintest ripple from a curious fish below. A small cushion rests upon the engawa's floor, faded but firm, inviting one to sit. And so one does. Knees drawn in, blanket draped across the lap, eyes half closed. The air is cool, touched with the smell of wet earth and fresh leaves. The sounds of the world are hushed, blurred by the muffling touch of moisture in the air. Here, time has no urgency. There is no task, no schedule, no voice calling from within. There is only the feeling of being quietly held by the presence of place. The engawa invites observation without effort, watching a drop of water fall from a leaf, listening to a bird call once, then fall silent. Even the clouds above move with unhurried grace, a slow procession of gray and silver across the pale sky. One hand rests around a warm ceramic cup, its side still holding the last of the tea's heat. The clay is slightly rough to the touch, grounding and familiar. Steam no longer rises, but the warmth lingers, as if echoing the quiet companionship of the garden itself. The engawa, like the rain, like the garden, does not demand. It offers a space to sit and let the world unfold without interference. A place where every sound is soft, every texture gentle, and every moment enough just as it is. And in that stillness, wrapped in the hush of the afternoon, the heart begins to quiet. The breath becomes deep. And rest, like the falling rain, arrives not as a thing to be reached, but as something already present, waiting patiently to be noticed. ChatGPT's Ghazal. A gentle breeze meanders through the room, lifting the sheer fabric of a noren, an indigo-dyed curtain hanging in the open doorway. The noren sways lightly, its patterned cloth whispering against the wood, creating soft movements like the slow rise and fall of breath. It is a modest barrier, not meant to close off the world, but to soften the passage between spaces, between indoors and outdoors, between movement and stillness. The cloth itself tells a quiet story. Faded from years of sun and weather, its pattern is one of waves and branches, motifs borrowed from nature and rendered in deep blue on natural cotton. The edges are slightly frayed, evidence of countless seasons passing through its folds, each gust of wind pressing a new memory into the weave. Just beyond the noren, the light has shifted again. Late afternoon now, the sky a pale, warm gray, the kind that hints at dusk without declaring it. A golden hue glows along the edge of the floorboards, catching the grain of the wood and illuminating the tiny imperfections that give the surface its living texture. Dust motes float lazily in the beam of light, tiny aimless dancers moving through the air as if unburdened by time. Inside, the room remains quiet. A low chest rests against the far wall, its drawers closed with care, its lacquered surface reflecting the dim light like still water. On top, a small bowl holds a few folded papers, perhaps letters or poems or lists once important and now forgotten, kept for reasons that no longer need names. The bowl is ceramic, with the faintest crack along its rim, a mark that does not mar, but rather deepens its character. A scroll hangs on the adjacent wall, the inked characters drifting down the rice paper like falling leaves. The calligraphy is elegant, restrained, the work of someone who knew how to stop just short of excess. There is a kind of stillness captured in the brushstrokes, a silent rhythm that echoes through the room. As the noren stirs again, carrying with it the scent of the damp earth outside and the distant trace of wood smoke, something loosens in the chest. Tension gives way to ease. Thoughts, once rigid, begin to dissolve into the softness of the surroundings. This space does not seek to impress or to astonish. It simply welcomes. It says, sit for a while. Watch the curtain move. Let the light shift. Let the silence stretch without fear of breaking. And as the day continues its gentle descent toward evening, the body grows heavier with calm. There is nothing to prepare, nothing to arrange. The room holds the quiet, the noren holds the breeze, and the heart, held softly by both, begins to drift. A slow hush falls over the house as twilight deepens, drawing long shadows across the tatami mats. The light has turned silver, soft and diffused, blanketing the room in a quiet that feels almost sacred. The sun has dipped behind the trees, and its departure leaves behind a stillness that settles gently, like dust on a shelf. In the corner, a small brazier rests, a hibachi filled with white ash and glowing charcoal. Its warmth radiates faintly, not forceful or bright, but steady, as though it has all the time in the world. A slender iron kettle sits atop it, its rounded shape catching the fading light. Now and then, it releases a delicate sigh of steam, like a breath exhaled in peace. The air inside is tinged with a subtle fragrance, cedar smoke, a hint of roasted chestnut, perhaps even the memory of incense burned earlier in the day. It clings to the walls in the softest way, not heavy, but soothing, like a distant song remembered. The scent lingers in the folds of cloth, in the grain of the floorboards, in the spaces where no words have been spoken for hours. The room's corners grow darker, shadows collecting like ink in a pool. But the dimness is never oppressive. It enfolds the space in a tender way, encouraging rest, quiet reflection, and stillness. A single oil lamp flickers near the window, its flame barely moving, its light golden and low. It casts soft shapes across the wall, elongated silhouettes of a teacup, a wooden comb, a dried flower still held in a ceramic vase. Crickets begin their evening chorus outside, a gentle, rhythmic pulse that seems to mark the passing of time more kindly than any clock. Their song is familiar, ancient, and unchanging. It drifts through the open screen with the cooling air, and with it, a sense of belonging settles in the bones. The body relaxes further now. Shoulders release their quiet ache. The hands, once restless, are still. The floor is cool beneath the touch of skin, but not cold. The softness of a cotton robe clings lightly to the limbs. There is no need to move quickly, no expectation to fill the silence with action. Here, in this deepening twilight, the space accepts you as you are. One begins to notice the smallest details, the texture of the woven mat beneath a palm, the slight unevenness of the glaze on a nearby cup, the sound of a single leaf brushing against a window pane outside. These things do not call attention to themselves. They simply exist, patiently, waiting to be seen. As night approaches, it does so without drama. There is no finality, no hard line between day and dark. Only a gentle fade, like ink dissolving in water, slow and elegant. The house, the garden, the very air itself, everything seems to exhale. And in this long, drawn-out breath of the world, sleep does not demand itself. It arrives as a guest, welcomed quietly, not with urgency, but with understanding, with grace, with peace. The night has now fully arrived, not with a loud declaration, but with the quiet certainty of something that knows it belongs. Darkness has settled across the room like a warm, familiar blanket. The flickering oil lamp, still lit, casts a soft amber glow, barely strong enough to reach the far corners. Shadows blend seamlessly with walls and ceiling, creating a calm, enveloping sense of enclosure. Safe and still. Outside, the world has taken on the hush of sleep. The wind, if it moves at all, does so with restraint, brushing gently against the paper screens like the hem of a robe across stone. The rain has stopped, leaving everything damp and rich with scent. Earth, bark, and moss mix in the cool night air. Occasionally, a single drop of water slides from leaf to ground, marking time in its own slow, graceful rhythm. Inside, the house rests. The warmth from the small brazier remains, soft and unobtrusive. The kettle is now quiet, its steam gone, its surface darkened with use and age. But even in stillness, it seems content, another presence in the room, adding its quiet weight to the atmosphere of repose. A futon has been prepared in the corner, spread neatly on the tatami. Its cotton layers are soft but firm, and the bedding carries the faint scent of sunlight and cedar from where it was aired earlier in the day. The pillow, filled with buckwheat husks, gives slightly under the weight of the head, molding itself with gentle resistance. Overhead, the beams of the ceiling disappear into shadow, comforting in their simplicity, their quiet endurance through time. No voice rises to break the silence, no footstep, no clatter, no distant call. Only the steady, unchanging chorus of night insects singing from beyond the walls. Their rhythm is slow and persistent, like the beating of a great heart beneath the earth, constant, ancient, serene. A moth occasionally flutters near the lamp, drawn toward its glow. It does not panic, does not rush. Its wings beat in slow, uncertain circles before it vanishes once more into the night, becoming part of the darkness again. The lamp continues to burn quietly, its flame low but sure, casting a tiny halo around itself, a final guardian of the day's last light. The breath becomes deeper, slower. There is no reason to stay alert, no need to guard against anything. This night does not threaten, it comforts. The mind, which has wandered and returned again and again throughout the day, now begins to drift more steadily, more fully, into a gentle surrender. There is only the feeling of fabric against skin, the faint rustle of sheets with the rise and fall of breath, and the warmth of the room, which asks nothing in return. Sleep is no longer a destination. It is already here, woven through every quiet object, every soft shadow, every breath drawn in the deep stillness of the hour. The house watches over this sleep, not with vigilance, but with understanding. It has done this many times before, and so, with nothing left to do and nowhere else to be, the world narrows to the sound of night, the touch of air, and the weightless descent into rest. The silence of the night has deepened, settling thickly across beams, floor, and sky. Time, no longer counted or measured, stretches like ink in water, soft, fluid, without boundaries. The house does not sleep exactly. It waits. It holds. It breathes slowly with its sleeping inhabitant, every creak of its bones timed with the rise and fall of breath. The lamp has burned out now, its flame flickering once before surrendering to the dark. What remains is the afterglow, a gentle warmth lingering in the air like the last note of a lullaby. The room is lit only by the faint silver of moonlight, drifting through the shoji screen like the memory of snow. Patterns of bamboo cast long, wavering shadows, tracing across the tatami with the elegance of brushstrokes in an unfinished painting. Outside, the insects sing less now. Their voices come farther apart, as if even they are drifting toward sleep. The garden lies still, stones dark with rain, leaves glistening faintly where the moon touches them. A small puddle reflects a fragment of sky, its surface so still it looks painted, not real. Within, a soft exhale escapes the sleeper. The futon shifts almost imperceptibly. Beneath the quilt, the body is warm, heavy with rest, the mind halfway between dream and the gentle stillness of the night. Thought drifts like smoke, formless, slow, and delicate. There is no need to grasp it, to name it. It is enough to feel its presence passing lightly overhead, like the brushing wings of a bird in flight. Now and then, the house speaks. A tiny pop in the wood, a soft rustle from somewhere in the wall. But these sounds are not disturbances. They are familiar lullabies, the kind the house has whispered for generations, comforting reminders that it is here. It is holding you, and you are not alone. A thin curtain sways near the window. The air has cooled just slightly, carrying the faintest chill into the room. But the sleeper does not stir. The body knows the balance, warmth within, stillness without. The world beyond the walls is vast and silent. But here, within the humble space of wooden beams and paper panels, everything has become soft, close, and safe. Dreams begin to emerge gently, scenes that are not quite remembered, people not fully formed. Perhaps a field of tall grass under a pink evening sky, or a riverbed, its stones smooth and warm beneath bare feet. These are not stories, not yet. They are sensations, shadows, glimpses of things carried in the folds of sleep. Nothing in this moment asks for attention. The past is distant, the future unformed. Only now remains, a long, slow now, tender and weightless. The house continues its breath. The garden, the sky, the trees beyond, all lean gently inward, folding around the sleeper like the petals of a flower closing for the night. And so, the night holds its peace, still and whole, perfectly enough. Outside, the sky has become a deep, endless blue, neither truly dark nor light, but suspended somewhere between. The moon, now high and pale, casts a gentle sheen over the sleeping garden. Leaves no longer stir. Even the smallest insects have quieted. The world rests as if it, too, has closed its eyes. Inside, the house has fully surrendered to the stillness. The floor does not creak. The air does not move. The futon lies settled, its folds undisturbed, embracing the sleeper with the gentle hush of cloth against skin. All around, the silence grows thick and warm, like a blanket of dusk drawn carefully over the room. In this softness, thoughts dissolve entirely. There are no tasks waiting, no voices lingering in the mind. Only the breath, slow even, rhythmic, like the gentle wash of waves on a distant shore. It flows in and out with calm certainty, grounding the body in the safety of rest. The old walls, worn by time, lean ever so slightly inward, as if protecting their guest. The scent of the wood, faint but present, speaks of seasons long past, of rains and summers, of quiet days like this one that have come and gone, leaving only peace in their wake. The house remembers everything, yet demands nothing. It simply holds the moment. The window shows a sliver of night sky, stars flickering faintly beyond the frame, quiet witnesses to the hush below. There is no need to count them, no need to name them. They are enough, just as they are. Distant, still, and constant. If there are dreams, they come gently now. Like mist curling through the trees, like the soft call of an unseen bird far away. They do not jostle or overwhelm. They drift, they shimmer. They wrap around the sleeper like lullabies, sung without words. There is comfort in knowing the world continues outside, rivers flowing, clouds passing silently overhead, trees resting in their deep-rooted stillness. But here, in this small room filled with calm, time slows to a breath. Just one breath. Then another. And then another still. Let yourself remain here. There is no urgency, no reason to rise. The quiet belongs to you now. The warmth, the safety, the gentle hush of the world. Let it cradle you. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Let the last threads of tension slip away, unnoticed. There is nothing more to do. Only this moment, this breath, this rest. Sleep well, dear listener. May your dreams be soft and light, your night long and kind. May the stillness stay with you, and when you wake, may the day greet you as gently as the night has let you go. Good night.